By the way, we are ready to the last 90s, so it's not I'm not helping him because I'm a piece of shit, by the way. Because it looks like this guy is doing fuck all. By the way, going back to my country. Ciao, enjoy.
Ta-da! Let's be honest, right? Not fucking one of you was expecting that magic mic. People often say to us, God, you've got to be like dead brave to do stand-up, haven't you? I'll have that. And I'm like, nah mate, for me, true bravery is using a Saturday night urinal when you're only wearing trainers. Three pairs, like, just to keep me safe, but yeah. But yeah, now that I've got my breath back, I thought I'd tell you some funny tales about having shit legs. The legs are shit and the stories are funny, so there we go. Because it genuinely is weird, because unlike Lady Gaga, I was not born this way. At first, if I asked them to do something basic like use 2 steps, they would have done that, huh? But in recent years, because they've become utterly shit at everything I ask them to do, I thought, what would a grown-up do? They'll go see the GP, won't they? So I book an appointment with him. And I'm sat in his clinic and he's like, what's the problem then, Mr. Brook? I says, well, I've got some concerns with the old lower limbs. He says, what do you mean? He says, well, what if George Michael were right about guilty feet having no rhythm? He says, you've not booked an appointment with my clinic over fears that you're never going to dance again, have you? And I'm like, no, mate, I mean, as if I'd waste this chance that I've been given. But I says, it is the legs though, obviously. He says, well, what's the problem with them? I says, well, they're a bit like the young folk that work weekends in Argos, yeah? Because to look at them, they sound. Until I ask them to do anything. In that case, they're pretty much unresponsive dickheads. So he says, fair play, that does sound pretty damaged. And he bounced us off to see a consultant to work out like what flavour of disabled I am. Now, before you chat to the boss man, right, you have to have a chat with like a diagnostic nurse. See if they can pick off any low-hanging fruit or what's wrong with you. Right? Now, if you've any basic adult skills, that's a really easy appointment to get through. But what we're going to realise tonight is that genuinely I'm even shitter at being an adult than I am at walking, so never going to happen, right? So I get sat in the clinic with her and she's like, okay, Mr. Brook, nice easy question to get us started. Could you tell me last time you got weighed, what was your weight? £8 4 ounce. Can't lie to the NHS, can we? Now, what I love about this woman is, for some reason, she thought she could move on to a second question and I'd grow up, but could you tell me, do you have any allergies? And I'm like, yeah, just James Corden smug cunt grins. At that point, Fat Lad just gets launched back into the waiting room. Right? So shortly after, when I get the nod to go in and see the boss man, obviously I do that with my unique stride pattern, yeah? So it's... Now I'm guessing our guy has literally got vibes from like that scene in Jurassic Park. He wants to know why there's a froth on his green tea now. So he comes to the door of his room, seeing me like this, and he's like, "Ah, Mr. Bro!" Come on, calm down, give you that. It's only kebab shop owners that excited to see me shuffling to the doorway. So once he gets in his office, he gives his door the old soft close, and he's like, "You're here today for me to see your legs, aren't you? So, be nice to see them legs if you won't mind taking your shorts off for us." And I'm thinking, okay, you know, probably a bit too old and a lot too round for this to be a nonce request. I'm going to assume it's medical and give the boy what he's asking for. Now, as I start lowering that day's denim offcuts, I have a glance down and realise that we've got a bit of a situation, because while it's hard to imagine you could get a pair of boxers in a worse state of health than I am, they exist and I'm wearing them. Well, I'm looking down and genuinely, password 123 is more secure than the one remaining button on. So I'm never going to be Giacomo's most religious customer, but I'm saying a little prayer at this point that for the next few minutes, Fat Lad's got the sleepiest dick in Yorkshire, and we somehow get through this process without me ending up on a register. So, mission accomplished. Now, I'm not going to lie, folks, when they sent me the next appointment through, I paid fuck all attention beyond 10:30 on a Monday morning, because at that point in my life, that was a full day off mis-selling PPI, so Fat Lad's living the call centre dream. Now, the striking blue eyes that you can see, and the one that you might have seen while I was crawling up from that side, they only got opened to what happens during a urology appointment. During the urology appointment. I love the little laughs of experience from all the people who've had a ticket to that party. Right? So I gets into his room, and he's like, "Okay, Mr. Brook, if you wouldn't mind removing your shorts and laying on the bed for me." I'm like, "Mate, you do not achieve my BMI by rejecting chances to lay down." So I gets on the bed, on my back, like you do. And he's like, "No, on your side, please." So I do, like a French girl waiting to be painted. Never seen Titanic. And he's like, "No, actually, your other side." And I'm still not catching what's coming, so I initiate the turn. And just as it's nearing completion, the panic starts to kick in. But it's not at that, it's because I've realised I've ripped up all that blue paper underneath it. So just to try and break the tension up a bit, I decided to ask my boy, "But what possible reason is there for me to face away from you?" Now, our guy at that point could have used any words in his medical vocab to fill this dickhead in on what's coming. But what he decided to teach me at that point is that on this planet, there is not a louder noise than the snap of a rubber glove that you're not expecting. So, while I'm laid staring at the wall and the reality of what's incoming, I spots this little sign for Fire Assembly Point B. I'm like, okay, nothing life-threatening because we're in a hospital after all, yeah, but if there could be any reason we need to gather there in the next couple of minutes and Fat Lad leaves today untouched, that would be mint, but no. Here I am, 5 to 11 on a Monday morning, getting fingered by a stranger. Again. No promise of a little cheeky Nando's. No idea what his star sign is. So while I'm trying to sort of... I love it when every now and again my tongue tries to be as disabled as my legs are. So while I'm trying as best I can to get my shorts back on without eye contact, I'm thinking, what can I tell myself I've learned from today? I'm thinking, well, the first thing you learn, dickhead, is that the piggy who stayed home finger on his hand is the size of a fucking rolling pin. And that if you really want to truly experience the full effects of the cost cuttings under the Tory NHS, it's the realisation that the hand sanitizer on reception is the lube on the tip of that glove. That burn is both physical and emotional. So after all this probing work, they've literally decided the only way that I can be less disabled is if there's less of me to be disabled. So to a dietitian they sent me, and let's be honest, I don't need to pretend that was a successful appointment. But again, what I love about this woman is she lets me sit in the office and she's like, okay, Mr. Brook, I appreciate this might be difficult for you given your state, but is regular exercise anything you managed to achieve? Oh yeah. According to the old smartwatch, 6-7 hours a day of it. She's like, oh, that's incredible, what is it you do? I said, oh, I just learned to eat biscuits left-handed. Now, what I love about this woman is she's also made a mad assumption that if she asked me a second question, I'd run out of dickhead energy at that point. So her second question was, okay, you've mentioned your diet there. I mean, could you tell me, how often would you imagine that you eat fruits and vegetables as part of that? So, well, to be honest, about as often as you imagine your dad eats your mum. There's been no follow-up to that point. But just to confirm that my bellendery is not limited to NHS appointments, it is literally any time me and my little metal friends leave the house, we draw the weirdness towards us, yeah? Right? Because the place that I used to work in to mis-sell PPI, there were two main sort of employment groups in the area. You either mis-sold stuff in a headset or you sold head, basically, right? So anytime I've got to get me and my crippled frame from the office to the station, I've got no option but to wander through where they're working, yeah? So when any of the nights that they decide we're having a chat, we're very much having a chat, aren't we? So there's this one night where genuinely, like something out of the Michael Jackson Thriller video, she zombies out of the shadows and she's like, are you alright, love? Are you looking for any business? No, I'm just shit at walking, to be honest. And she's like, oh, I noticed your limp. I'll take good care of you. Mhm. Even doing a little discount. I'm thinking, oh, bless her. What, she lacks in teeth and the shower. She more than makes up for in generosity of spirit, bless her. And I've got to be honest, as a Yorkshireman, exactly. You'll know this, Chief. If we're offered anything at less than retail value, boom. You've got to give it a ponder, right? But when you realise it's 20% off gonorrhea, you have to give it a polite thank you, but no. Because if there's one human on this planet I don't want to fall out with, that is my GP, right? Because in exchange for these shit legs, he gives me amazing drugs, yeah? And what I love mostest about my amazing drugs is that they all need taking with or after food. So, anything that combines your hobbies is always a winner. So I'll wrap up my stint for tonight with my two heroic tales of incredible dadness, right? So a few years back, I realised that I've not really caught up with my beloved little teenage daughter for a day or two. And that maybe I'd use all the bags of Alpha Bites in the freezer just to dig some letters out. Just let her know that her dad's thinking of her. And that what her dad thinks of her is that she is a ginger cunt. Now she truly confirms she's absolutely my offspring by replying with, well, I'd rather be a ginger than a spastic. If I'm honest, I was probably more angry at the fact that she didn't even write it in potato shape. Typed it like a lazy fuck, so just a fair play, kid, your skin might be pale, but your soul's black as fuck, so there's always that. But just to prove it's got no better as she's got older, towards the end of the last bit of lockdown that we had, she sends me a little Thursday morning message to let me know that I'm going to be a granddad. Oh, it's weird. I'm not adult enough to put fucking trainers on, so how am I a granddad? I don't know. My immediate reply being me is, oh, so you filled in lockdown by getting filled in then? But we're going to end on the actual face-to-face chat when they came down to the house about it, because that's classic. So when they come in, I say to a boyfriend, are we going to call soft lad? Take a seat, kid, because I've got a little bit of parental logic for you that I think is going to come in really good stead for you when the parenting game starts. Because what you're going to realise at that stage, yeah, is how similar hours of sleep and inches of dick really are, yeah? Because you're always going to wish that you had 8. But you are going to be fucking amazed at what you've achieved with 2.5. So listen, on that beautiful, powerful image, you lot have been amazing. I've been Johnny Brook. Enjoy your interval.
Guys, give it one more time for Johnny Brook. We're going to take a 10-15 minutes break, so see you after your break.